Welcome to Rise and Shine Daily Business Tech Boost with me, Charly Latham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and break them down into bite-sized tips you can use right away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine. It's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Latham. Episode number 447 today, and I'm going to be talking about the built-in WordPress function to display navigation menus on your website, on your WordPress website. I'm going to do two things in this demonstration today and in this podcast today. I'm going to show you how to use the menus for themes or for standard themes before 2023. That's the standard theme that comes when WordPress installs. And then for themes after 2023. Now, the reason I'm going to do this, and I'm going to caveat this whole thing, when WordPress brought out version 6.1 and above, they changed the way menus are done. And when they did that, they brought out the 2023 theme and now the 2025 theme. And they've changed where the menus actually appear. Now, lots of other themes still use the pre-WordPress 6.1 version of menus. So I'm going to do two versions of how to do this and where to find it. And I'm going to have to leave it up to you that when you go to your WordPress installation, just understand that it depends on what theme you've got installed as to how you find those menus so you can edit them. I hope that makes sense to you. I actually kind of like the new way they're doing themes and the way they're doing the full site editing. That's what they did with 6.1 and above. They changed the block editor that not many of us really liked, and they've made it full site editing now, and it's starting to get pretty good, actually. I'll probably dig into that a little bit later, but for now, I just want to go through some of the basic functions that seem to trip people up. And one of them is, where do I find menus? How do I edit my menus? How do I get them to show in certain locations? So let's go through that, shall we? Let me go and change our screen, and we will get straight into our little demonstration. Okay, so this, if you've been following the podcast for a couple of weeks, this is a pretty standard WordPress install. This is my demo site. I have done a couple of things to it today just so that I can do this demonstration. And the first thing I'm going to do is go down to the appearance menu here and just go to themes for a minute so I can show you what we're going to do. You will see that my active theme at the moment is 2021. I went and installed that so that I could do this demonstration. I also have 2025 installed, and we're going to use both of these themes so that I can show you the differences in how menus are done. If I go down to plugins, I still think I've only got the one plugin installed. Yep. And if I come up here to pages, I have got a few more pages created and published so that I can do this demonstration. Now, if I just head across to the front of the site, and I can show you the front of the site before we go any further. This is the 2021 theme, and it is just giving me a list of all of my blog posts. And you'll see that I've got no menus, nothing is being displayed here. Let's go back to our dashboard and go back to our dashboard. Okay, so that's the setting for today's tutorials and today's demonstration. One of the things we're going to want to do is have a menu on our website. We want to, and a nav menu is really important. I've done a podcast on this. I've spoken at length about why nav menus are important and why getting the structure of nav menus is important. Now I'm going to show you how you can put one onto your website. To find the menus item, it's under the appearance menu on the left-hand side. Come down to appearance, and then you'll notice that you've got an option here called menus. Now this is only going to appear if you've got let's call them legacy themes, themes that were created for WordPress 6. For versions of WordPress before 6.1. Let's click on menus. Now, there's a couple of things about this page here. First of all, you'll see we've got a menu here called primary menu. There's nothing in it. On the left-hand side here, we've got pages, posts, custom links, and categories. I'm going to show you a trick on that one in a minute. You have the option here to select a menu to edit. So we've got duplicate menus that we can edit. These must be ones I've created previously when I've been doing other demonstrations. That's okay. I will show you how to delete menus. This gives me a great opportunity to show you how to delete menus and edit existing ones and create new ones. And then here we've got a tab called Manage Locations. Now, with some themes, let's start with the locations and then we'll go back to how we actually create the menus that appear in them. Most themes, but not all themes, will give you areas on the areas on the layout where you can put a menu in with it and you don't have to go and do anything. You don't have to go and edit any code. You don't have to change anything. You just say, you create your menu, and then you come to this manage location and you say, if the primary menu, I want to show the primary menu, and for secondary menu, I want to show the primary menu duplicate. You can always show the same menu in multiple places too. And once you've made those changes, you've got to say change, but we're not going to do that just yet. So the locations here are things that are programmed into the theme that you're using. It will have a predefined area on that page, on that post, on the screen. That's the word I'm looking for, where you can display specific types of menus. Hopefully, the theme gives you the documentation as to where those appear. If not, you're just going to have to use trial and error, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to use a bit of trial and error and see where these locations actually appear. Let's go back to our, we're just going to leave because I didn't really make any changes. Before we go into how we modify, change, make menus, I want to just look at these menu items here. You'll see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 standard items: pages and posts, which is normal, custom links, and categories. Sometimes there is the option to have extra things in here. Now, extra menu items in here. Now, if I come up here to screen options on the right-hand side and drop that down, you will see that under screen elements, we've got 2 more elements we can show here: tags and formats. And when you tick them, notice that they appear here. So you can create menus that include links to tags and links to formats. I don't usually use formats. I get rid of those. Tags you might want. I'm going to get rid of them today because we're not using them. But if you're looking for something specific and thinking, can I put that into my menu? Come to screen options when you're on the menus page and just see what options you have. I'm going to come back to this in just a moment because I want to show you a few other things. So this is our page. This is where we start creating a menu structure. And I said I already had menus created, so we're just going to work with this primary menu one, and then I'm going to delete them both, and we're going to do something new again. To add a page to an existing menu, or to add an item, I'm going to say item to an existing menu, choose which one it is. Is it a page? Is it a post? Is it a category? Custom links would be a link out to another site. It could be a specific area on a page. So you know how you can have jump links on a page and you want to be able to jump to that link on a page? That's where you would use a custom link. I use custom links sometimes just to create dummy menus, and I'm going to demonstrate that one as well. But let's start with what we would normally use as on a standard website, and that's adding pages. When you go to each option, you've got most recent, which is the pages most recently created or edited. You've got the option to view all. So in this case, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages created. And here we've got the ability to search. Now, the search function is very useful when you've got lots and lots of pages and trying to find them in this tiny little box makes it really hard. I'm going to add a couple of pages to our menu and we're going to look and see how it looks. The first thing we want to do is add a home. Now you can do this. You can just select all of the pages you want to display. So you see how that's just selected all. I should have clicked select all, and we can click the add to menu button. Once we've done that, we now have our pages here in our menu. Now this hasn't saved. We still have to hit the save button, so we're not going to do anything at the moment. It's not going to do anything unless I save it. You see we have a home link here and it's telling me it's a custom link. Now it's telling me it's a custom link, but that came from the view all in pages. Now the reason it's a custom link is it actually chooses it. I believe it chooses this from our settings, our WordPress settings, and it gives you a home link, and that just gives you a link to the home. I would strongly probably recommend you do it this way. Sometimes this can trip you up. If you change the URL of the site, you might need to come in and actually change the URL in here. So just be a little wary of that one. The other thing we can do, sorry, let me just go through these. You can see here we've got navigation label, whether it's got a parent, whether it's got a menu, what the menu order is. So our home was 1 of 5. Privacy is 2, this will be 3, this will be 4, this will be 5. Now, let's say I want to rearrange our pages. I could do that here. I could come down here and say, make that number 4 or 5, and it automatically drops it down to position 4. The other way you can rearrange your pages in your menu or your items in your menu is if you just mouse over, there we go, you just mouse over the one that you want to move and hold down your left mouse button, you can drag and drop it. And you can put it wherever you want then. I can move that all the way to the bottom. I can move it all the way to the top above home. I recommend always leaving home as your first menu item because that's where people go looking for the home button. So that's how you can rearrange the items in your menu structure if we're using this option. The other thing you can do is you can actually have parent and child menus. So for example, we can leave test page 1 there, but we're going to put sample page as a child under test page 1. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you know when you go to a website and you mouse over the menus and you get those little drop-down menus, that's a parent-child menu system. So let's make sample page a child of test page 1. And you'll see what it's done here. It's actually indented it. So when we look at this structure, we can tell what are nested menus. We can also make a 3rd and a 4th level menu system, sub-menu system. So if I make that a child, if I make the parent of privacy policy sample page, you'll see now that we've got a 3 level menu. You can go as deep as you like. I wouldn't recommend you go any more than 3, but yeah, just see how it works for you. The other way you can move these menu items around is, again, you can just put your mouse cursor over it, left click, and you can drag it back. You see how the dotted lines around it, if I move it, the dotted lines move out, and it picks up everything under it and moves it back 1 for you. So it maintains the nested structure for the pages that you're moving. I'll move that one back. Let's say now I want to put test page as a child of test page 2 in the menu. I can bring it down here, make sure I move it to the right, there it is. And now I've got a nested menu. And if I go in here, you'll see it says menu parent test page 2. So this is a really it's a really feature-rich way of doing menus. Now, the thing that you want to do while you're messing around with your menus is making sure that you save your changes as you go, so that if you make a mistake on the next step, you can always go, just reload the page and you'll bring back the one that you had that you liked. There's a couple of other things that I wanted to go through before we sort of jump into anything else. We have some options here. We've only got, what, 1, 2, 3 options here at the moment. Now, one of the things we sometimes want to do is have our menu items open in a new tab or a new window. And as you can see, we don't have the option of specifying that here. Sometimes if we have what they call a mega menu, you know how when you mouse over a menu and it drops it down and it gives you a description of what's in that menu, like words, a text, a word story about that menu, that's called a description. We don't have the ability to do that here. We can add that in. It is actually a standardized part of WordPress. And to get to that, we go back up here to our screen options. You're going to love to check screen options over time. I've learned to look and go, what else can I do here? But click on screen options and you'll see here you've got show advanced menu properties. You can show the link target. Now the link target is the one that says, do you want to open this on itself? Do you want to open it in a new tab? Do you want to open it in a new window? So you can click link target. Title attribute is good for SEO. I don't tend to enable that. CSS classes for us developer types. I like to enable CSS classes because that, if I'm doing a standard theme like this where I need to actually get into the code to do some styling, if I put CSS classes on this, that allows me to target each of the menu items with a different class. And if I wanted to have different colors, I could do that. If I wanted to have different text styles, I could do that. I'm not going to enable CSS classes today. Link relationship XFN, again, that's another SEO function, and I'm not going to enable that. And description, I'm going to enable that. Once you've chosen your options, close up screen options and come down, and now you'll see under our options here, we've got open in a new tab. That's our link target. So now if someone clicks on this, now that I've got that ticked, that will open it in a new tab. I can put a description in here. This is a description. And if your theme uses it, that description will show in your menu. Okay, let me make some changes. Yep. That's all I'm going to do here. Now, while I'm in this menu, you remember I showed you menu locations up here on the new tab, in the other tab. If I come down the bottom of primary menu, you'll see down here we've got some menu settings. We can have it set to auto add pages, automatically add new top level pages to this menu. WordPress used to set this as default, and we'd come in and we'd build our sites, and then we'd go and we'd have a look, and we'd just have this mess of a menu sitting on our front pages, on our pages, because we were automatically adding new top level pages to the menu. That's now been turned off as default, and we have to actually go and turn it on if we want it to work that way. I strongly would recommend leave it off. You are far better putting the effort into coming in and editing your menus and making sure you know exactly what is in your menu structure. So I'm not going to tick on that one. But here we've got the display location. So even from when we're editing our menus, we can say, oh, I want this to display as my primary menu. Now, if I click Save Menu here, and I go back to Manage Locations, you'll see that it's automatically updated here to say that my primary menu is going to be my primary menu. How about we go and have a look at how that looks, shall we? So let's go to our template and let's go and do a visit site. I can close that tab down. And here we go. Look, sample page. See where I said this is a description? It's put the description in under the page. Privacy policy, test page 2, test page 1. It's going to do some changes on it. Let's move test page 1 above test page 2, and let's put test page 2 as a child of test page 1. And now if I refresh that page, perfect. So you'll see we've got home, sample page, privacy policy, test page 1. You see it's got test page 2 underneath it. I've got to say I do not like the formatting on this template, on this theme as standard, but you'll see, so first thing, a couple of things to notice, we've got a plus sign here right next to the test page 1 that says that we've got something under it. That's the indicator that there's something under that page. And then if I mouse over it, we can go to test page 2, and it shows us that test page 2 is a child of it. So that's where the primary menu is. I wonder if we can find where that other menu is. So let me close that down. Let's change the location of this to secondary menu and say save. This is how you can test and see where things are. Oh, there's nothing there in secondary menu. Let's come down. There it is. It's at the bottom of our page, and you'll notice that even though I have a child page under test page 1, we're not seeing it. That's because this location is formatted to only show the top level menu items. So there's another thing to just consider when you're doing it. Understand how each of the locations on your template works, on your theme template works. Okay. Now I mentioned that we can create dummy pages so we can get a drop-down menu. And one of the things that I like to do is where I've got privacy policy, I normally have privacy policy in terms of use and sales, terms of sales and terms of purchase, and all the legalese that we need to have on a website. If we're doing big websites, we often need to have a lot of legal pages and a lot of information pages. And what we don't want to do is have a page at the top and then have, I'm just trying to think of the best way of describing this. What I like to do is have a menu item that says legal information or legalese or the stuff you need to know, something that works with your target audience. But what I don't want is then for them to click on it and have nothing on that page or have it duplicate one of the pages underneath it. I just want that to be a placeholder that when you mouse over it, all of the legal pages drop out, for example. How do you do that? How can we do that? Well, that's where this custom links comes in really handy. So to add a custom link to your website, just click on it. In that URL, if you don't know what the URL is to begin with, you do need to put a hash. The hash sign or the pound sign is a placeholder that HTML, that websites knows that it's going to be a link. We just don't know what that link is at the moment. So it just says, just load this page again, basically. And for the link text, let's call it legalese, okay? I'm going to click add to menu. Now that I've got that there, I'm going to move that up to here because that's where I want it. I'm going to move my privacy policy underneath it. I'm going to do one more thing here. Remember I said that if you had a hatch here, it would just reload the page. Once you've got it in here, you do need to have the pound sign. Sorry, the pound sign. I know I call it a hash. It's the pound sign. You've got to have that pound sign to get it to come into the menu. Once you've got it into the menu, you can just delete it. You're going to click save. Oh, no, what we're going to do is we're going to put this into the primary menu. I'm going to click save. And then we are going to go to the front of the site. And you'll see now that legalese has got the plus sign under it, next to it. And when it comes out, we can see privacy policy. Now, if I mouse over legalese and click on it, it does nothing. This is just a dummy entry that allows me to organize pages under it. Whereas if I go to test page 1 and click on test page 1, it moves me to test page 1. I hope that makes some sense to you. This is a really powerful way of organizing your menus without needing to have links on everything. Okay. I think that does what I would call the legacy way of doing menus. What we're now going to do, oh no, no, I know, I promised you I was going to do something else. Okay, so we've done this. This was with an existing menu. I already created it. Let's say we don't want this menu anymore. No, we're not going to use it. In fact, what I'll do is up here, we're going to go to select a menu to edit. Going to go the duplicate menu. We're going to say select. Okay, we're in the duplicate menu. There's nothing in there. We want to get rid of it. You just click on the delete menu button at the bottom of that area. It's in red on my screen. Click delete menu, say OK. And now if we go and have a look, you see we don't have the drop down here. We've only got primary menu. Now I'm going to delete this one so you can see what it looks like when you don't have any menus. So when you don't have any menus enabled to begin with, this is what it would look like if this was a brand new site and we hadn't been messing around with it. This is what it would look like. You wouldn't have a menu here. What you can do though is under menu structure, give it a name. So I'm going to call it new menu so we don't get confused. I'm going to say create menu. And now we're back to where we were and we can just add the pages in that we want. There we go. I say save. That's not assigned to any menus in any location. So if I just go back to here and I say refresh it, we've lost our menu, we deleted our menu, it's gone. But if I come back in here now and say assign that to our primary menu, we refresh our front of our page, there's our primary menu. So that's how you add and delete menus as you go along. Do be very careful about deleting menus, particularly if you've taken some time to set them up, because it could be a little frustrating if you come along and I don't need that anymore and you've deleted it and then go, oops, I needed that menu. So do just be a little careful with it. Okay, so I'm going to delete this one and we're just going to go back to a standardized. We've just installed a new WordPress. How's that? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and change the theme out for 2025 because it changes how we do menus. Let's just go back to our dashboard now that I've changed that to 2025. And if I come to the front of our site and refresh it, it's picked, interesting. It's picked up all the pages we have on our site and just put it in here. So 2025 as standard, we'll just do a page listing because we don't have any menus. It's just picked up all of our pages and put all of our pages in here. If we come back to the appearance menu, and I'm going to go to the appearance menu, you'll notice that we haven't got themes, menus in here. We've lost a whole heap of things out of here, in fact. All we've got is themes and editor to find menus in WordPress 6.1 and above, and themes that take advantage of this. You click on editor, and then you go to, I think it's patterns. So for WordPress 6.1, if you're running the standard 2025 theme or 2023 theme, and if you're running a new theme that is actually written to take advantage of these things, the full site editing capabilities of WordPress 6.1, come to Appearance and click on Editor. Under Editor, you'll see that based on it and I think this will depend on how your theme is written. You've got navigation. If you click on navigation, it says here, navigation menus are a curated collection of blocks that allow visitors to get around your site, and you can add pages in here. And to get in there, yep, cool. So under navigation, it shows you that we've got all of our pages in here already. To edit our navigation menu, click the three dots and click on edit. And this takes you into the block editor. Now, if you're not a fan of the block editor, that's okay. Not many of us are, but I have a feeling it's going to be very helpful to us in the long run. It shows you how to edit your site. We can just say get started. It will take us in here. To edit the menu that we have, it says edit the menu. This navigation menu displays your website's pages. Editing it will enable you to add, delete, or reorder pages. However, new pages will no longer be automatically added. Okay, so what 2025 does is it will automatically add your top level pages as you add more pages. To get in, once you're in this screen here, click on the menu that you want to edit, this section that you want to edit. You see how we've got the bar around it? This was the description I read over here, edit this menu. If you click on edit, we want to reorder things. So I'm just going to drag privacy down the bottom. I want to make test page 2 a sub page of test page 1. I think what we do there is we go to test page 1, we say add a sub menu link, and we click test page 2. I'll do that again very, very slowly. Okay, so I want to make test page 2 a sub menu of test page 1. I go to test page 1, don't click on it, just mouse over it, come to the three dots on the right hand side, add a sub menu link, and choose the pages that you want to put under there. In this case, I'm going to put test page 2. If I want to add more pages under here, I can go back to that three dots, add another link. Let's put sample page. If I want to reorder these, I can literally just drag and drop them to the new locations. Oh, goodness. And I don't know if you noticed as I was doing that, we can, under here, if you get it right, you can actually create the third level. So be very careful as you're doing this, that you keep your structures correct. So that's how you reorder things. We're going to want to take test page 2 out of our menu here, so that now we just have test page 1 and privacy policy in the top menu. If I click on those, what options does this give me? Okay, so if we click on it now, it takes us in. And we've got all of those things that I was showing you previously. We've got the text that shows, we've got the link, we can put a description in. Again, this is a description. The title attribute, the relative attribute, these are more SEO friendly things to set. What are we missing here? We are missing the ability to open this in a new tab. Let's come down here to advanced. So under advanced, nope, we still don't have it there. We'll find it in a moment. Under advanced, we can put our CSS styles in. You'll see that we've got I don't know what you'd call that, a sun and moon, I guess, night and day icon. If you mouse over it, it says styles to the right of your settings menu. You can set the width of the text to fit in the area, to grow to fit the area, a fixed width, and specify the width of it. So you've got a lot of flexibility with your menu here to set up how it looks. You can set the typography size. So let's go and have a look at it. Typography is your font size, basically, how the font looks, the text looks on the site. So let's choose small. So it makes our text small, medium, large, extra large, and extra large. No, we don't want that. We'll just go back to medium. It was obviously set to medium first. You can also set the size as a custom size. Okay, so how did I get into that? Let's go through there. So if just in case you didn't want to just use presets, you can come to the slider to the right-hand side that says set custom size. It says set it to REM, or you can choose pixels, EM, view width, and view height. These are more flexible. Most people, when they're starting out doing their own sites, will set it to an EM or a PX. I'm not going to. I'm just going to use the presets here. You've also got the ability under typography to go across to the right-hand side where there's 3 dots. Anywhere where you see 3 dots, it's worthwhile clicking on to see what options you get, because it's normally a sub-menu. Click on options so we can set the size. We can say reset the size back to whatever it is, the default. We can change what font we're using, default font for the theme or whatever's in there, Manrope or Bureau Code. They must be the ones that are defined within the theme. You can choose your appearance. Is it bold? Is it extra bold? Look at all those options you've got. You can choose how that appears in the menu. And you'll notice that as we get the ticks, we start to get more and more here. Line height, letter spacing, decoration, underscore, strike through, none. Letter case, do we want it to be all capitals, all upper? Lowercase or capitalized or nothing, like just standard, just default. We can do a reset all, which gets rid of it all. So you get to choose what you want to appear in here as you do your editing. It's pretty cool, actually. And we're talking only about this option here. Okay, let's go back. And come up here to options. Nope, no options there. See what I mean about you've got to click on things to see how they look? Okay, so now we've done that, what we're going to do is click Save. Just checking our preferences. Oh, that's okay, we don't need to worry about the appearance menu. So the only thing I haven't found at the moment is how to make these open in a new tab. Okay, so now that you've done some playing, if you want to add more pages in, you see you've got a plus button here. You can add a new block. You can add a new page to it, or you can add a custom link. So let me just do that again. We click on the menu. We click to edit our menu. You see we've got the plus button here. You can say add a block. It will allow you to choose a page to add in, or you can say add a block. Page link, custom link, sub-menu, buttons. You can add buttons in here. You can add a search bar. You can just put the page list in. Let's put custom link. And now that we've got custom link, we go over to our custom link here. We can put okay, so this is how you set up a basic navigation menu. Let's go and have a look at it in our website, on our website. And I've just refreshed it, and you'll see here we've now got the 2 pages underneath it, sample page, privacy policy. That's how our menu looks in our block editor over here. Okay, so that's the basics of the navigation editor for WordPress 6.1 and above. There's a lot of functionality here. Now, what we didn't find was how to open these links in a new tab. And you'll notice that over here under settings, we couldn't find it. It didn't appear. It's because it's in a different position. If you want to open any of these as a new tab, the way to do it is to click on the link in the actual editing page. You get a floating menu here, and you see you've got this little link icon. If you click on that, you see it tells you where it goes to. This little pencil icon, if you click on the edit, and then under advanced, you've got open in new tab, and that is how you open that in a new tab. What about adding a custom link like I showed you before? That's easy. Well, that's easy as well. You'll see we've got the plus button here. We can click on the plus button, and it says here search or type a URL. So we just put in here HTTPS. Going to link it back to my website. And we just click on that. And now we've got askcharlylatham.com. But I want to edit that. So I'm going to click on the link icon again. We're going to click edit. And you'll see here we've got the link says askcharlylatham.com. And the title is website. I'm going to open that in a new tab because the advanced menu is open for us. And now it says website, and that will link out to my Ask Charly Latham site. I want to add in a dummy menu item. Let's try that like we did on the what I call standard WordPress menus. Just going to put hash. It's put the hash in there, and we're going to say open. We're going to put text. Hello. We're going to get rid of that. And you can't do it that way. So how would you do it? I'm going to remove the link. What we're going to do, there we go, it's gone. Okay, good. We're going to put a blocking. Can we just put some text in here? Okay, so now we've added a custom link in. Let's just do a save and go and refresh the front end. And now we've got website. And if I go and click on that, it takes you to the site that you've linked. Okay, guys, that is a really quick crash course on how to get to your navigation menus. Okay, let me come back and have a chat to you guys. Okay, it's a longer video because I've given you a couple of ways of doing things and where to find your menus. It's a quick crash course. There's a lot more to learn. You can do a whole heap of things with your styling and such. With full site editing, so WordPress 6.1 and above, you've got a whole heap more options in actually how you can style your menus, because it'll let you get in and style each section on its own. But it does take a little bit more work and a little bit more knowledge to understand how it works. I will promise you that it is worthwhile learning how to use this function, particularly if you want to try and build your own website. Of course, if you're going to get someone else to do it, it doesn't really matter what they use as long as they get the result that you want to have for your website. But I hope that's been helpful for you. I certainly learned something for myself in doing this tutorial, which is fantastic. I love learning, and it's always good to learn when I can teach, when I'm helping someone else learn as well. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments? If you do, please leave them wherever you are watching or listening to this video. You can also come along to my locals community, askcharlylethem.locals.com, and join the conversation there. If this video has been of use to you, if you've learned something or I've given you something that you didn't know, I'd really appreciate the like. That would be really helpful. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlylethem.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.